Hello and welcome to this tutorial brought to you by tut.studiodesigns.com. In this tutorial I'll give you a basic introduction of using Flash. For this I'll be using Flash CS3 Professional, which is not much of a difference with the older ones, not really older ones like CS2 or Flash CS. So let's see what we have here. First, this opens a welcome screen which we can create a new document using an ActionScript 2, ActionScript 3, Flash for a mobile, and something more in detail, ActionScript file. Or you could open up the recent items here on the left side which you just created, or you could open templates which are ready made in width and height. So let's open up ActionScript 2 Flash file. Once you have that, you will have this point here is called the stage. The white part is where you draw and work on your files. The gray part of this does not appear once you have exported your Flash file. So let's see what we have here. On the top is our timeline, where it contains number of frames, and if you scroll way in the right it goes up to 610, and once if you have used up to this point here, it keeps on increasing, so we get more space. And on the left side here is our layers. Same as Photoshop, we have many layers. We can create many layers here. It has the same eyeball and a lock. And this part here is the outline. For example, you have drawn a circle or some part of a curve with some fill. By clicking this, just shows us the outline of that. As in Flash, we'll have many layers where we could not really know where's what, so using these outlines helps us with different colors. Let's clear few more layers. You could see that it gives you different colors here, which could help you differentiate between different layers. And here on the left side we having some tools, like the selection tool, the direct selection tool, which here in Flash is called a subselection tool, and we have some transforming lasso tool. We have the pen, same as in Photoshop, the normal text tool, and a line tool where you can draw lines and edit them or join them using our pen tool. We'll go on that in detail later on tutorials. And we have some shapes here like rectangle, oval, and more in details, and same as the pen tool or the pencil tool. We have a brush, and we have our ink bottle tool here, which is not there in Photoshop and is something different here in Flash, which will go on later. We have a pocket tool, we have a eyedropper, eraser, and we have a hand tool. A hand tool is really same as in Photoshop, so clicking on that and we could drag our stage over. The shortcut key is same as in Photoshop, which is holding the space bar and dragging the stage over. I'm holding my space bar and as well as clicking and dragging, so you could adjust this anywhere. And we have a zoom tool, which is the same standard zoom. We have a stroke here in Flash and a fill, where stroke is the outline and the fill is the fill, which is the stroke line. We have our same swap colors here, which would swap them between the stroke and the fill. And we have a no color here. For example, let's select our stroke here and click on the no color, which removes the stroke. Now if you would create a shape, it would just give in the fill. And we have our snap to objects, which would snap and fix. For example, if you are using a grid or a guidelines, it would snap to the points. You could see that we'll show you that in detail later on. And we have here two icons here which are still disabled. I'll go on that in detail later. Let's see what we have here at the bottom. We have here properties, which you could change the width and the height. Let's click on this button here. Here you could it will open up the document properties, which you could change the width, height, and some more options like the background color, frames per second. Frames per second is basically like, since the default is 12 frames per second, that means here on the frames we have a number of frames, so 12 frames. As Flash plays these frames, 12 frames counts as 1 second. So if you have a 24 frames up to here, it would count this up to 2 seconds to play this much, and so on. So let's see what we have here. We have a title which you could enter, same as in Photoshop, and we have description, which we could go in detail of the document name and etc. If in case you have made some changes here, you could, and you'd like to use this later on, you could click on make default, where if you would close Flash and open it again and you could create a new document, it will automatically set those settings which you saved it as make default. So let's try that. Let's make this up to 200 pixels and the height also up to 200 pixels, and let's click a background color of a dark red and click on make default. It's saved that. Once you press OK and close this document, let's not save that, let's open up a new Flash file. You'd see that it used the same settings in the new document. And let's see what more we have here. On the right side we have some more options. The components panel is an advanced things which you would use with action scripts. We'll go on that in later on tutorials. And let's check on this. We have a color palette, we have a swatches palette, we could have a different combination of colors, and output is the ones when you use actions and you get a result or a response from your action script, which comes out in the output, or in case you have some errors, it would also come here. And let's see what we have here. We have the align, which is the same as in Photoshop on the top, and we have some info which gives you the details of the X and Y axis and some more options. And the transform tool is also in case you have something drawn and you'd like to transform that using some specific numbers, you could enter here. And we also have a new and an easier way of using Flash, that is a library, where it separates the image, the graphic, or which we call tween, movie clips, buttons and folders, where you can join them all together. I'll go in that in detail in the later tutorials. So that's all we have here in Flash. So thanks for watching and check on the next tutorial.